So today we will discuss the Philippine Juvenile Justice System. So ang Philippine Juvenile Justice System is of course applicable only in the Philippines. And of course, ang tao or the person who committed an offense in this system is a person who is below 18 years of age. Unlike the Philippine Criminal Justice System wherein the subject of the system is a person who is above the age of majority. No? So, kaya part of our topic or our topics is all about the Philippine Juvenile Justice System. In addition, the Philippine Juvenile Justice System is different from the juvenile justice system in the United States, in Asia, or in Japan. So what are the learning objectives of this lesson? Of course, number one is to understand, analyze, interpret the salient features of RA 9344 or the Comprehensive Juvenile Justice Welfare Act of 2006 to fully understand the rights of the child, responsibilities, exempting circumstances, and its liabilities. So dito natin masasagot if for example, may nagawang offense ng isang bata, sila po ba ay exempted or not? So dito siya papasok. Okay? So as the definition of terms, of course, it's very important for us to understand the law kasi if you notice sa lahat ng batas, laging may definition of terms which we need to understand first before we understand the provisions. So the following are the definition of terms. Kumuha lang ako ng salient because if I will explain everything, no, hindi kasya yung oras. So one of which is the what we call as the best interest of the child rule. So when we say best interest of the child, it refers to the totality of the circumstances and condition which are most congenial. Wait lang. Hanapin ko yung aking lang marker. Share remote control. Wala siyang parang marker. Ano. Ano. Okay. So, congenial to the survival, protection, and feelings of security of the child. And most encouraging to the child's physical, psychological, and emotional development. So, if we will interpret this paragraph, it means that yung condition or sabihin natin, ano ba yung mas makakabuti sa bata? Doon ba siya mapupunta dapat sa mother niya or sa father niya? So, depende po yun sa magiging kalagayan sa physical, psychological, or emotional development na mas makakabuti doon sa bata. This is always the rule when when the topic is all about a child. So, always remember that. So this is another definition of best interest of the child. It also means the least detrimental available alternative for safeguarding the growth and development of the child. Kasi the society or the government through the court as instrumentality of the government, they need to protect the children, no, the child. Kaya kinakailangan palaging sinasaalang-alang natin yung tinatawag na best interest of the child. Next is we have what we call as child in conflict with the law. So when we say child in conflict with the law, it refers to a child who is alleged, accused, or a judge as having committed an offense under the Philippine laws. Ibig po ba sabihin, guilty na sila? Hindi po. Kaya nga sinabi na alleged lang accused of. Kumbaga, wala pang proof, wala pang evidence, hindi pa tapos ang trial to say that they are guilty. Ibig lang sabihin, sila ay subject, no? Pwedeng iniimbestigahan, pwedeng nasa arraignment pa lang. So any other stages na hindi pa tapos, nasa stages pa lang ng investigation or ng trial ni judge, nandun pa lang yung kaso nito. And CICL, it's a term used only if a person is below 18 years of age. Or if they are above 18 years of age, maybe their mental capacity is as of below 18. Such as kunyari 7 years of age siya, So, minor yung pag-iisip niya kasi we are always referring to the mental capacity of the child, not as to the biological age of the child. So, ano yung term natin dito kung tayo ay nasa criminal justice system? So, ang term na ginagamit natin ay depende kung nasang stage na o nasa ang process na yung yung investigation, 'di ba? Pagka nasa law enforcement ang tawag ay suspect. Kapag nasa ano yan, prosecution ang tawag ay respondent. Kapag nasa court ang tawag ay accused. So, ito yung tawag if the person is above 18 years of age. Okay, but below CICL in general. And the generic term is of course what we called as juvenile. Kasi they can be called as juvenile, ganon. So, yun yung tinatawag nating CICL. Okay, next is we have what we called as diversion. So when we say diversion, it's an alternative child appropriate process of determining the responsibility and treatment of a child in conflict with the law. So remember this phrase, sabi diversion, it's a program kung saan ito ay nagiging resort, later on na-explain natin, resort, instead na ikulong yung bata, ay dinadivert natin sila sa program na to. Okay? So, para po malaman natin ano ang paggagawa natin sa bata. Kasi depende po ito sa kanyang background. Siya po ba ay may problemang sa pera, may problema psychologically, kulang sa attention. So ito yung sinasabi na on the basis of his or her social, cultural, economic, etc. Kasi we're always referring to the background of the child and of course to avoid resorting to formal court proceedings. That's diversion. So, mamaya, mas lalo nating i-elaborate to. O kundi man to mamaya, next meeting. Okay. So, we have what we called as intervention. So, when we say intervention, teka lang, hindi. Okay. So, when we say intervention, this is another program under RA 9344 na hindi sila parehas ng diversion. May different sila na later i-discuss natin. But it's also a program applicable to children o to a CICL depende sa circumstance. No? Kung depende sa edad niya. So, ang intervention ay mas lesser ang ginagawa rather than diversion. Okay, so when we say intervention, so remember this, it is a series of activities. So activities ito, which are designed to address issues that cause the child to commit an offense. So tinitingnan dito ano kaya yung naging problema. Bakit kaya nagawa nung bata yung offense na yun? So it can be pwedeng counseling, yun lang ginagawa. So tawag na dun intervention kasi um, nagkakaroon tayo ng kumbaga baka mabago natin, no? Kailangan mabago natin, di baka. Kailangan mabago natin tong behavior ni bata kasi nga mali yung ginawa niyang pagnanakaw, for example, sa kaklase niya. So it can be through counseling, no? Through skills training, education, and other activities na mag-i-improve ng kanyang behavior. So that is what we called as intervention. This is lesser. Sabihin natin mas lesser yung program kasi mas mabigat pag sinabi nating diversion rather than intervention. Kasi remember, if you notice, in intervention, hindi na mention without resorting to formal court proceedings. Pero sa diversion, ito po ay na-mention. So later, mapapaliwanag natin kasi kung bakit ganun yung difference nila. Okay. So, initial contact with the child. Ang other term nito, pag sa formal court natin ay, or sa CJS natin ay arrest. So, pag bata, hindi mo pwedeng sabihin na inaresto. Kailangan, hindi rin pwedeng tawaging arrest. It should be initial contact with the child. Yan yung term to avoid stigma para mabawasan yung trauma on the part of the child. Yan yung ginagamit. So, kita nyo naman, the definition refers to the apprehension or taking into custody of a child in conflict with the law by law enforcement officers or private citizens. Di ba you have this activity that you make a video of arresting a CICL. Nakita nyo hindi sila pwedeng pwersahin, hindi sila pwede na pusasan ng galong-gano na lang. So, careful sila sa pag-apprehend. So, yun yung tinatawag natin na initial contact with the child. Dapat proper siya hanggat maaari maayos. Okay. So, Bahay Pag-asa, this refers to a 24-hour child caring institution established, funded, and managed by local government units, no, and other NGO. So, dito po inilalagay ang mga CICL na hindi pwedeng ilagay sa prison or sa jail kasi hindi sila pwede because of course they are above 15 and less than 18 years of age. Ma'am, bakit hindi kasali yung less than 14? Kasi nga under our law, kapag ka ikaw ay 15 and below, you are exempted from criminal liability. But later, makikita nyo na if you are above 15 and less than 18, hindi ka technically exempted. No? Pwede kang exempted, pwedeng hindi, depende sa discernment ng bata. Depende sa kanyang discernment. So, later, di-discuss pa natin yun. So, while they are awaiting for court disposition, dito sila sa Bahay Pag-asa muna nag-i-stay. Okay. So in the Philippines, what law is the basis of our juvenile justice system? So of course, the answer should be Republic Act 9344 or the Juvenile Justice and Welfare Act of 2006. So it was approved on April 28, 2006. And of course, this particular law repealed the provisions of the revised penal code, specifically the parang section, Article 12, paragraph 1 or 2. Paragraph 1 nga yata. So, paragraph 1. So, nirepealed niya yun. Of course, there is another law which strengthened the juvenile justice system in the Philippines. Syempre, alam naman natin that nagbabago, 'di ba, ang mga nangyayari. So we need to enact another law, of course, to strengthen the juvenile justice system in the Philippines. And that is by virtue of Republic Act 10630. Tanong, ma'am, lahat po ba in-implement o lahat po ba ay pinalitan itong bagong batas? Hindi po. There are only certain provisions which repealed RA 9344. Hindi po lahat ng provision ng 9344 ay nirepeal nitong 10630. Some provisions only. Ibig sabihin, specifically if you read the law, sinabi niya that this section, for example, section 12, nakalagay doon that section 12 is hereby repealed, ganyan. So section 12 lang ng 9344 ang nire-repeal nitong RA 10630. So ganun po siya if you Google the law. So you need to Google it in order for you to understand the law. So it was approved on October 3, 2013. So isa sa mga significant changes dito sa batas na to is the creation of the Juvenile Justice and Welfare Council or what we called as the JJWC. So isa yun sa mga significant change. Okay. So ano po ba yung overview ng juvenile justice in the Philippines? So bago na enact yung RA 9344, yung treatment sa bata o sa CICL ay parang adult. Okay? So, it was until then that the former President Ferdinand Marcos Sr. signed into law which abolished the juvenile domestic relation courts. So, it was only through the offshoot of the United Nations Convention on the Rights of the Child through UNCRC, which of course deals with resort um, deals with children without resorting to judicial proceedings. So sabi kasi doon sa UNCRC, instead daw of punishing juvenile offenders, dapat daw sila ay ano the state daw should prevent them from committing future offenses. So hindi dapat daw sila itrato na parang adult. So it was because of the UNCRC that we need to follow, and therefore as a signatory to the Beijing rules para mas maikli, no? So kailangan nating sumunod, okay? So hindi lang pala Beijing rules, including the Riyadh guidelines, the UN guidelines for the prevention of juvenile delinquency, the UN rules for the protection of juveniles deprived of their liberty, and the Convention on the Rights of the Child. Then the Philippines guarantees the protection of the best interest of the child in accordance with the standards provided for by these international laws. So in the Philippines, ang ginawa natin ay nag-enact tayo ng bill, of course, para maging consistent tayo ito dito sa mga United Nations or tinatawag nating international laws or and conventions. So kasi when the Philippines of course signed a specific convention, we need to enact domestic law in order to follow, no? Or ma-implement natin sa country natin yung particular convention na yun. So kaya nag-enact tayo ng Republic Act 9344. So sabi dito, as much as the Philippines should be concerned with the justice system in harmony with international policies, the dominant goal is to achieve a standard national policy on CICL rather than an accurate reproduction of an international model on CICL. Okay, so this is a context clues. So we need to, of course, at least isipin natin ano kaya yung sagot dito. So the main features of RA 9344 are the diversion and blank programs. So the answer should be, so it should be diversion and intervention program. So those are the two programs under RA 9344. So ito siya. Yan. Okay, again, babalik tayo sa definition ng diversion. Depende yan sa background ng isang bata. So, if nakita na responsible yung bata sa ginawa niya, so therefore, pwede siyang i-recommend through diversion program ni fiscal. So, bakit po diversion? Kasi instead na magkakaroon ng court proceedings ay kumbaga, titreat na lang natin kung ano yung problem dun sa bata. Like, kung siya ay nagnakaw, so therefore, paano kaya natin yun maiaayos, no? So, ganun po yung diversion. Okay. So again, during the intervention naman, this is another program which address the issues kung bakit ginagawa ng bata yung isang offense. So, depende po no, kung ano yung nagawa nila, kung ano ang gagawin. No? So, depende, kumbaga sa sakit, kung ano yung masakit sa kanya, yun yung gagamitin nating gamot. So, ganun yung ginagawa rin sa intervention. So, accordingly, yung mga programs na to ay malaki ang role sa behavior modification ng mga bata. So, most likely, that will resolve the problem with the child. Okay? So, the question is, ito another question. What is the minimum age of criminal responsibility? Kumbaga, parang ano, pag ba 18, o sabi natin 17, liable ba yun? No? So, ano kayo sagot dito? Okay. So, according to Section 6, ang haba nito, no? Because this came from the, of course, exact provision to ng law. A child 15 years of age, you need to um, read it no, carefully. So a child 15 years of age or under at the time of the commission of the offense shall be exempt from criminal liability. Okay, so again, if the child is 15 or under, they shall be subjected to an intervention pursuant to Section 20. Andoon ang program ng intervention sa Section 20. Okay. A child is deemed to be 15 years of age on the day of the 15th birth date. So remember that. Okay, so 15th birthday niya. Galing na to sa 10630 ah. Kasi nilinaw nila yan. So a child above 15 but below 18 shall likewise be exempted sila and be subject to an intervention program unless he or she acted with discernment. If the child acted without discernment, technically, siya ay under ng intervention. But if the child acted with discernment, ibig sabihin, pag sinabi nating discernment, alam niya, that child knows what is right and what is wrong. And therefore, that child should be subjected to diversion and not intervention. Bakit po kaya ganun? Kasi again, dahil may discernment, nagiging liable ang isang bata. Ganito kasi ang difference. Para malaman nating liable ang isang bata sa ginawa niya, sabi dito, 15 and below, technically exempted without determining the discernment. Pero kapag siya ay above 15 and less than 18, and that person acted with without discernment, and therefore hindi siya liable kasi wala siyang discernment. Then therefore ang program na papasukan niya ay intervention. But same age tayo, pero kung kung meron naman siyang discernment, what would happen is that person ay magiging liable siya. Conditional pa rin yun, depende pa rin. So kung magiging liable po siya, ang papasukan niyang program ay diversion and not intervention. So titingnan niyo palagi yung tinatawag nating discernment. Kasi when we say diversion, instead na dadaan siya sa formal court proceedings, ay nire-refer natin lang natin siya for diversion. No? So para hindi na siya ma-stigmatize. Kasi kapag baka masanay siya sa mga hearings, hindi kasi siya maganda dahil baka maging normal sa kanya. So, iniiwasan natin yung court proceedings kapag ka ganun. So, pero still, it's always subject to the recommendation of the prosecutor. Kung sasabihin nila, ito po ay pag-undergo ng intervention or diversion. Ganun po yun. So, ma'am, paano naman natin nalalaman ang discernment? So, example of discernment is that, for example, itong bata ay meron siya, for example, 16 years old, meron siyang pinatay na matanda. Ito, tandang-tanda ko tong kaso na to kasi it's a case which can be found sa Revised Penal Code written by Justice Reyes. So, it's a case na kung saan pinapakita na merong discernment yung bata or alam niya yung kanyang ginagawa. When we say discernment, that person knows what is right and what is wrong. No, ibig sabihin may muwang na siya. Kasi yun naman ang laging basis. Kapag hindi niya alam daw yung tama at mali, and therefore, hindi natin siya pwedeng sabihin na liable siya. So, it's a case of yung bata ay sinaksak niya or pinatay niya yung matanda. Tapos umakyat siya sa taas ng puno at sinabi niya na nagmura siya, PI ka, buti nga sa'yo. Yung term na PI ka, buti nga sa'yo, that's a proof na yung bata ay may discernment. Kasi nasabi niya yung phrase na yun, ibig sabihin, alam niyang mali yung ginawa niya. Pero still, ginawa niya pa din. So yun yung mga proof na pinapatunayan natin na may discernment yung bata. Yun lang isang example, but there are a lot of circumstance which can show that the person is acted with discernment. So, yung act ng discernment should be during the time that particular person committed the offense or particular child committed the offense. Hindi siya po pwede na after or before. So, it should be during the commission of the offense. Okay. So this is a scenario. So I hope clear na po yung diversion or an intervention. So this is a scenario wherein AAA, take note of this, no? If the case, always in the court, no? If if there's a case involving a child, hindi pa laging nilalagay ang pangalan ng bata. Lagi madalas siya AAA, BBB to remain okay, of course, the confidentiality or the identity to, of course, kasi hindi natin pwede na i-divulge yung identity ng bata. Kaya po, kinakailangan, balagyan natin sila ng parang, nickname. Okay. So for example, AAA has been arrested by patrolman XXX. However, the patrolman is not sure whether AAA is a minor or not. So hindi siya sure, no? What would be the basis of action of patrolman XXX? So mamimili kayo. Kasi ganito sa board exam, dapat kung siya ay usually kasi ano na daw ngayon situational, no? So letter A, patrolman XXX should not considered AAA as a minor. Letter B, patrolman XXX should considered AAA as a minor. Or C, he will ask the assistance of a psychiatrist to determine the age of the child. So what would be the answer sa tingin nyo? So if that person is not sure, of course, the answer should be letter B. Dapat, patrolman should consider AAA as a minor. Kasi hindi siya sure eh. So, doon na lang muna siya. So, again, as mentioned under Section 7, nandito yung sagot niyan. Okay? So, if hindi kayo sure, meron tayong tinatawag na presumption of minority. If you are the policeman, i-presume mo na lang na minor yung bata. 'Di ba? And then, after nun, through documents, like birth certificate or kung ano pa mang dokumento, tsaka natin mapuprove na talagang minor nga siya or hindi man siya minor. Depende kung ano talaga yung totoong circumstance niya. Circumstance. So, sabi dito, that child shall enjoy all the rights of a child in conflict with the law until he or she is proven to be 18 years old or older. So, the age of a child may be determined from the child's birth certificate, baptismal, or any other pertinent document. Eh ma'am, walang birth certificate, putok sa buho yung bata. Tapos wala rin, di rin binyag. So, binyagan. So, anong gagawin namin? So, we have pwedeng any other documents na pwedeng maging basehan ng information, pwedeng testimonies of other person, pwedeng physical appearance, no? Pwedeng other evidence na pwedeng gamitin like yung sangipin, yun. So, pwede po yun. And ma'am, paano pag wala talaga? So, anong gagawin? Then therefore, accordingly, in case of doubt as to the age of the child, it shall be resolved in his or her favor. So, palagi, kung wala tayong kahit anong evidence, so, bata yan. Laging yun ang mangyayari na decision. Kasi wala tayong makita eh. Okay? Okay, so what is restorative justice? Kasi 'di ba during your when you take your CJS, meron tinatawag na retributive, restorative, no, distributive. So when we say restorative justice, it's a justice applicable for children. Okay? Or sabihin natin si ICL. What will happen usually is that we always resolve the issue or the problem with the maximum involvement of the victim, offender, and the community. So tandaan nyo to, VOC. Kasi po, hindi pwedeng victim and offender lang. We should always involve the participation of the community. So it primarily aims to achieve reparation for the victim, reconciliation of the offender, the offended, and the community, and the enhancement of public safety. So, ano pong example ng restorative justice? Okay. Example is, usually kasi restorative justice applicable no doon sa scenario sa United States. No? Marami ng states na nag-a-adapt nito. But in the Philippines, ginagawa na siya, hindi lang siya ganong popular na tinatawag na restorative. But yung pag-aayos sa barangay, yung bago mag-file ng kaso sa court, yung pag-settle muna through mediation or conciliation, that's restorative justice kasi nire-restore natin yung relationship muna ng mga involved party. No, hindi yung file na lang tayo ng file ng kaso sa court. Ganun po siya. So what happened is that, for example, nakasabihin nating may nagawang mali itong si CICL. Okay? Ang nangyayari sa restorative justice is that merong mediator, andito yung victim, andito yung offender. And then, yun, magsusorry si offender kay victim para siyang magiging conversation na parang nag-o-open sila sa isa't isa. Na si victim, sasabihin niya yung naging effect nung nangyari. Like kung siya ay nagkaroon ng, kunyari siya ay sinuntok ni offender, sabihin natin sinaksak siya sa mata, ganun. So, ano yung naging effect sa kanya bilang biktima? 'Di ba? Di hindi na siya nakakabasa, ganyan, no? So, naging isang mata na lang yung functional sa kanya. Pakiramdam niya, ang pangit-pangit na niya. So, those are example na pwedeng sabihin ni victim. Sa offender naman, sa part ni offender, ang gagawin niya, of course, ay after niyang marinig yun, ay maghihingi siya ng sorry. Tapos, siya po ay sasabihin niya na kumbaga nagsisisi siya, parang ganon. So, ganon po yung nangyayari doon. So, bakit po kaya natin kailangan gawin yun? Kasi gusto natin na magbago si offender kasi nakita niya yung naging effect nung ginawa niya doon kay victim. Kasi yung retributive, di ba, more on punishment. Sa restorative, hindi. So, it can be, kunyari, ay may nagawa ka doon kay victim, babayaran mo siya, tapos manghihingi ka ng sorry. Ganun yung usually na nangyayari kay restorative. So, kumbaga, ire-repair mo. Re-repair mo. Okay, so the Philippines treatment of CICL. Okay, so if the child is 15 years old and below, what action should be taken? So here is the treatment no kapag ka below 15 siya. Of course, it's always the duty of the local social welfare and the local social welfare and development. So, di ba sila yung meron tinatawag nating initial contact with the child, or it can be the police and then iko-contact o tatawagan nila itong LSWDO. Okay, so yung LSWDO, sila po ang may duty to immediately release the child to the custody of his or her parents or guardian. Kung wala man yung dalawa na sinabi ko, it can be to the child's nearest relative. So, for example, ma'am, wala talagang makita kahit kamag-anak. So, pwede pong ibigay ang bata sa any duly registered NGOs or religious organization o kaya barangay official or BCPC, okay, or DSWD. So, depende kung alin yung nauna rito. So, parent, guardian, or nearest relative. Kapag, of course, may nearest relative, walang magulang, may nearest relative, doon natin ibibigay. Hindi natin ibibigay agad dito sa nandito na NGO. Okay? So, what if the child has been abandoned or neglected as a child? Di ba pinag-aralan natin yung abandoned, neglected, ganyan. So, if the child has been found na nakita ng LSWDO that they have been abandoned, neglected, or abused by his parent, okay, so magkakaroon tayo ng petition for involuntary commitment which should be filed by the DSWD, which we learned before, di ba? The difference between involuntary commitment and voluntary commitment. So, kasi, kunyari, inabandon nga yung bata, pinabayaan, o kaya inabuso. Siyempre, kung hindi man ibigay ng parents, the DSWD or any person na concerned, pwede sila magsumbong sa DSWD para itong si DSWD or LSWDO, sila po ang magpo-file ng petition or involuntary commitment. So, ang treatment po ng CICL ay depende po kung sila po ay nag-act with discernment or without discernment. So, ang social worker ay they have this assessment tools to determine whether yung bata po ay may discernment. Bukod pa dun sa sinasabi ko na ano, kasi syempre, pagka naman initial contact, hindi naman si judge agad ang titingin ng discernment eh, si DSWD muna. So sila muna ang magbibigay sila ng assessment tool to determine kung may discernment or wala. So sila po ang magsasabi ay may discernment to ay wala tong discernment. Okay? Based sa tool nila. So, pero mas lalo po yung mas may basis kapag nasa court talaga yung bata. Okay, so initially, it's the DSWD muna. Kaya nakalagay dito, di ba, without prejudice to the preparation of a more comprehensive case study or report. So, the LSWD can either release or commit the child to the youth care facility. Okay, if, number one, 15 years or below. Okay, ito yung mga gagawin ni LSWD. Release or commit to youth care facility. Ito ang gagawin if ang isang bata ay 15 or below or above 15 but below 18 pero walang discernment. Pero if the child is above 15 but below 18 and acted with discernment, syempre diversion program ang gagawin natin. So, di ba na-emphasize ko na yun earlier? Okay, so meron ding binanggit sa 10630 na kung sino yung pwede nating tawagin na deemed neglected child. Kasi limited yung definition ng neglected child, di ba? So when we say neglected, pwedeng physically neglected, pwedeng physically hindi pinapakain, or emotionally neglected. Okay? Kulang sa pagmamahal, I mean, hindi pinapansin ng magulang, ganyan. So, meron tayong deemed neglected. Ito ay kung ang bata ay above 12 years up to 15, tapos nag-commit siya ng mga kaso na to, parricide, murder, kung ano lang nandito ha. Okay? If that's the case, siya po ay deemed neglected child. O kaya naman, sabi sa pangalawa, commits an offense for the second time. Okay, ibig sabihin, hindi man pumasok sa mga kaso na to, kasi yung kaso ng parasite, first time lang niyang gawin yan, deemed neglected na siya. Pero, kung siya po ay gumawa na ng offense ng second time, kahit hindi yung mga kaso na to, like for example, ano bang yung kaso na wala dito? Sabihin natin na physical injury, no? So, pangalawang beses niya nang nagawa yun, then therefore, siya po ay deemed neglected na din. So, hindi kinakailangan na kaso na ito pag second time. Okay? So, anong effect kapag ka parricide murder, mandatory commitment in a special facility? So, ito yung mga nakikita nating nasa bahay pag-asa kasi nga, kinakailangan i-commit sila kasi tingnan nyo naman yung mga kaso. So, heinous to, no? Infanticide, murder, parricide. Therefore, medyo nakakatakot sila na hayaan lang sa community. So, hindi hindi tayo safe kapag gano'n. So, ito namang second offense, regardless of the offense committed, hindi mandatory yung commitment. Okay, unless kinakailangan talaga sa best interest of the child ng bata. Okay? So, take note of the difference ng dalawa na to kasi baka kasama siya sa exam. Okay, so again, alam niyo na tong diversion proceeding ha. Ayan pa ba to? Ayan, so again, it shall be centered on restorative approach and it can be victim offender mediation, peacemaking circle, etc. etc. So, yun yung mga ginagawa at mas malalim yung program pag diversion instead of incomparable with intervention. So, sabi naman sa PNP manual ng PNP, sabi nila, pag sinabi nating intervention, systematic social protection for children that are designed to promote the physical and social well-being of the children. So it avert or prevent juvenile delinquency from occurring or prevent them from reoffending. So that is intervention. So again, iba yung ginagawa sa diversion, iba yung ginagawa sa intervention. Okay? So assignment would be, please read the case of Dorado versus People of the Philippines. So yun yung assignment natin for the next meeting. Okay?